Hey everybody, welcome back to PC 911. We're over here working today on a MacBook Air, which is got some malware on it. The browsers are hijacked, and it's just acting all kind of crazy. I want to show you what's going on, and then we're going to go through and clean it up, show you how we're doing that over here. And let's take a look. First off, let's go to Safari, the default browser. There it opened up pretty clean. Everything looks good so far. Let's see if what I was doing before, if I can show you what's going on. I put it here, cat, just to basically do a search. And we'll just grab any of these searches. And what you see here is this opened up on the second tab. Oh, that was even worse. Okay, so we got the second tab, but in this first tab, this opened up, which we didn't pick that. That was basically, there's some software that did that there. If we do another search, another one's probably going to open up. Worse than that, I could have sworn I saw something. There you go. This AMC RB DBQ package, whatever that is, that automatically downloaded. We'd have to like slow down the video. But when I click the second tab that this opened up, this automatically downloaded. It's in my download folder. Crazy stuff. And this is a Mac. Remember, Macs don't get viruses? Well, we can toss that to the can. Let's see if it opens up another page. Let's say, do a little search here for a hat. And if we click on a hat over here, what's going to happen? Even worse. We got a redirect notice. Here's another a McAfee ad or failed ad. This is crazy. So that hat didn't work. Let's try it again. Let's go flower. We do a search, and we're gonna go to FTD to order some flowers. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that page opened up. We got all these tabs all over here. So as you can see, even an ad for McAfee. That's nuts. This thing is messed up. We're gonna clean this sucker up. So let's get out of here. Usually, even worse, we wanted to leave there, and we got more promos, more pop-ups. This one doesn't look so malicious. It actually lets you continue and do your thing. It's more like ads are popping up, and some people ask, well, why are they doing this? This one, what it looks like is basically those ads that are popping up. If you click on them, then they monetize it. So they want you to use the computer, and then basically they're going to give you some pop-ups, some links and things like that, and they probably wind up making some money on it. They don't want to make it bad enough where you take all this stuff off, because then there's no money to be made. So that appears to be what's going on there. Let's go to Chrome. Usually when it's on one, it's going to be on the other. In this case, the home page is hijacked. Keep in mind that whenever your home page has changed, and you get something like this, searchtechsmart.com, more than likely that's not a good sign. It looks like Google Chrome, kind of, the Google Chrome homepage, but it's not, or the Google homepage, I should say. So let's see if we do a little search. Is it being hijacked? Chrome is probably a little bit better for these kind of things, as far as more resistant to these things taking over. And I'm seeing over here, when we pick up page, we're getting the pop-up blocker. Yeah, pop-up block. So Chrome is doing some blocking there of sites. Let's go to YouTube. Usually YouTube is highly, not the site itself, but usually when you go to YouTube, if you got a hijacked browser, something's going to pop up on there. So we usually use that as one of our go-to pages to see how the laptop is doing. So this one looks a little better. I'm going to leave that running in the background. I'm going to go back to Safari. And when it initially opens, it looks clean, which is the odd part. Many times you're going to have the browser taken over, or the home page taken over. So let's just use a different one. Let's use hat on this one and see where we're going. So let's check out these hats over here. And this one opened fine. And this one looks okay. I doubt this here looks like that it's not coming from the page. This is an ad being fed into this here. Let's go YouTube. And we're going to see what we have there. And see how clean YouTube is. Some of these also, they're not on like, you know, pounding the ads and the pages because they really want to stay. They don't want you to notice that your, you know, computer's compromised, so they can continue doing their thing. So for right now, the Safari, there it goes. Okay. So you see, it took a couple clicks, but if you notice now, we got this tab open over here. Right? We were on the Safari. And when we clicked there, this tab opened up. And it says you may have a virus, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, there's a button there to scan. If you look at this, they've used the application logo there, so it looks kind of looks fake. They could have done a better job. So you can see where the hijacks are. So we're gonna follow up and start with our cleanup. I'm gonna put this on pause, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to clean this baby up. So for right now, let's see if we can get out of these pages. And I'm going to show you where we're going to start. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, so here we're back. We're going to be running some malware cleanup tools here. And the first thing we're going to start off is malware bytes. Just make sure you spell that right when you find that online. It's free. It's been around forever, and you can trust it. It's a super fast scan on Macs. I guess it's a little bit more limited than in Windows. So we got it downloaded, have it, and we're going to install it. Well, it's already installed. We're just going to run it. Malware bytes, accept that. And basically, it's a scan right here that should pick up most of this stuff. We got a new version. I'm using this off of USB, which are, we have our tech tools. Whoa, sorry about that. So sorry for this here. We had to do an update and relaunch this. I am recommending that you install antivirus on your computers. Recommending Kaspersky. We've been using that for a very long time, primarily on our Windows computers, but I still trust it enough to use it on these Macs. So we did find all kinds of stuff here. I'm going to move this camera up a little bit so you can see some of the stuff that we found. So that's Malwarebytes finding these fun hijacks there. And so we're going to go ahead. We're going to head and remove selected. What I'm going to do though when I do these things, again, I'm going over this, but frankly, you know, some of this stuff does get a little bit more technical than what you're going to see on this video. What I like to do is take a picture of everything that's there, or basically jot down everything that's there. The reason for that is I want to go later on and take a look at any files that are straggling along, hanging out, that didn't get removed. So let's see. Sometimes these things do not allow themselves to be removed. This one here, since it appears to just be kind of adware related, I think it's not going to be too challenging. And we're going to do a restart. So that's the first scan there. It says we're going to rerun it again. I'm not going to go through each single thing in detail like that because I don't want you to be here forever. So run that Malwarebytes, then rerun it until it shows up clean, and then we're going to show you what's next. All right, guys. So we're back here. We computer rebooted. We ran the malware bytes again, and make sure all the everything was updated. So came back clean. So far, so good. We're gonna run into some of the other items. One of the other items that I want you to look at is your startup items, and you're gonna go to your preferences and to your user, and you're gonna go to these login items. Sometimes you could have things here that are starting up and either could be reinstalling or just basically launching something else. For example, here we have this item which is a little bit of a unknown. So if you see something here not recognized, you want to do your diligence and take a look at where it's coming from. So everything's clear. I'm gonna do a little follow-up and see where this is coming from, what it is. Probably, could not be found. We're gonna eliminate that. This could have been kicking off one of the items that Malwarebytes removed, because when we look for when we highlight it, it's telling us, well, let's go to Dropbox. Dropbox is telling you where it's at, iTunes, and then this one is showing could not be found. So let's get rid of that sucker. So that looks good there. It's the other item you want to do. Then we're going to reset some of the browsers. We're going to go to Chrome, which is probably the easiest one of all, and show you some of the things we're going to do here. And this is going to be the same on Windows or Mac. Go to this little hamburger on this side over here, and settings. We'll do a couple things. One is we want to go to extensions. Anything here out of the ordinary we want to get rid of. All this is Google stuff. Extensions are good. We want to go to settings all the way down, show advanced, and then go all the way down, and then we want to reset. Okay. Then also we want to come up here, and well, this is personal customizations. How do you want it to start up? Take a look at that. But some of the things that I do here is I show the home button, I show the bookmark bar. I do want to manage these search engines. I want to see what search engines are in here. Like this search tech, which is that one that's taking over. I'm going to get rid of that. So you should have here Google, Yahoo, Bing. Frankly, Ask and AOL, I would probably get rid of them. But you should have the three big ones there. I mean, you can just have Google if you like. So I'll leave those three there. The other thing you want to take a look at is on startup, where is it going to open up? Even though it's defaulted right now to the new tab page, I want to take a look at this open specific page and see what's there. See, that's the previous home page of that software that took over. That's still there. I want to get rid of that. So I want nothing in this open up specific pages unless you choose to put something there yourself. So clean that up. We did a reset. Our extensions are good, and all this is default. So that's your I also like to close this out and then open it back up, make sure everything's good. So let's do that. Chrome, and again, Chrome really wasn't having the big issues. I don't know if this guy wants it to be his default or not, so we'll say don't ask again. He could change that afterwards. So that's the deal. This one wasn't so hijacked, but if you'll notice, prior, this was giving me all kinds of pop-ups of the little pop-up there that it was blocking, and it's not blocking anymore. So the software that was trying to get in even on Chrome, which it wasn't getting through, that one's gone. So we did a little search for cat, and remember when we were hitting this, we would get a little pop-up there that said Chrome blocked a pop-up. Let's try dog for a change. Why just cat? Why are cats getting all the attention? So there we go. So this one so far looks good, but don't count your chickens yet. because you'd be surprised you clean this and then 5 minutes later the stuff comes back. So that one's good. We're going to go now and clean up Safari, and give me a minute. We'll be right back. All right, so here we are. We're back. We're going to take a look at Safari. Actually, let's make sure that we got Chrome closed. Let's take a look at Safari, see how it's doing. We're here at our Google homepage, and let's do what we were doing before. We did a search for cat. We hit a link, and let's see if we're cleared up and we're not getting those secondary pages. Remember, one time is not going to do it, because you know how that goes. It could take a few minutes and then come back. So we'll click a couple links. We'll do catfish. Now, one of the things that you definitely don't want to get caught with or get caught doing is, you know, jumping the gun and saying, oh, we're good to go. So we're going to do a couple searches here. And I mean, it's looking good so far. We may have gotten it out just with that alone. Okay, I did open a secondary tab myself. All right, so that's looking good. Either way, we are going to do some cleanups here in Safari. So I'm going to show you some of the things you want to do to clear up your Safari. You want to go to history, and let's clear the history. Basically, remove it all. You don't want to click on one of the previous links that was already there, since they're all over the place. So you want to clear that. You want to go to let's go to our preferences over here and go to the privacy tab. Boom. And let's go remove all website data. Get rid of all that. Remove website data right there. We just did that. Remove now. From there, we want to go to the extensions. Let's take a look at that. See if you got any extensions in here. Right now, there's nothing here, so we're good. You don't want any funky extensions. You may have some there, but they should be something you recognize that you put there that makes sense that you've used. So that's clean. We want to go over next to advanced. You want to toggle this down here, show develop menu and menu bar. Toggle that. That's going to bring up this develop menu up here. Then you want to come up here and you want to empty the caches. Right there. Boom. You want to do that. Then you want to go to your general tab and just, you know, set up here your home page or whatever else, but primarily the home page. If something got hijacked and that changed, it may not just change back. You might still have the old one there. So that looks pretty good as well. So we've cleared up our Safari browser, looks good, and this little YouTube. And looks good. No new tabs are opening up. For the most part, the average person, you could probably leave it like that. We're going to go a little further and show you a couple of other things that we're going to be doing as well, just to cover all the bases here on this unit. And we'll catch you in the next video. All right, guys, here we are. So we're continuing along. What we're doing right now, we're installing Kaspersky Internet Security. My recommended antivirus at the moment. So we're going to let that run. I'm going to show you some other little things that you want to take a look at as far as a cleanup. We're here on our hard drive, so I'm going to show you a couple places you want to delete some information. We're going to go to the hard drive. We're going to go to library. I already did these, but I'm going to show you where they're at. Library, and then you're going to go to caches, which is this right here. And I want you to delete what's in there. Those were already deleted. It's a cache information. It's like temporary files, so there's going to be stuff coming back there. So we want to delete that one. We also then want to come back to System and Library and Caches as well. We're going to go there. Want to delete those as well. And we had a couple other areas we want to take a look at. This is getting pretty deep, but just want to show you all the little tips that I can give you. We're going to go to Library. Actually, let's go back. We're going to go to Library, Launch Agents. Here we're going to take a look at, with these names, we have an Adobe and we have a Kaspersky. We're basically looking for things out of the ordinary. Some of maybe the names that we saw on that first Malwarebytes removal, we took a picture of. Some of the malware or browser adware that we saw. So we want to make sure none of that stuff is here. So this is one of the areas we want to take a look at. That looks clean. And we're in Launch Agents, and then the other one is Launch Daemons. We want to take a look in here as well. Here we see Malwarebytes is fine, Microsoft, Adobe. So that looks clean as well. And one last folder we're going to take a look at, which is Library. Where are we at? Library and then Application Support. We want to take a look in here. And again, you got to be careful here not to just delete anything arbitrarily, but many times, most of the malwares, they have these really funky names, which I'm surprised they haven't put, names that people would just overlook. So you want to take a look in here and you see if you see anything out of the ordinary or part the name or something that looks like the name of one of the malwares that Malwarebytes pulled out. Everything here looks pretty normal. Yep. And then Kaspersky is new. Origin. This is Origin, which is, I guess, the gaming company. But the actual program itself is not installed, so I don't know where that folder's coming from, or maybe it's something that they're doing online. So I'm not going to mess with it here. And then last but not least, which is really not last, it should have been kind of like towards the beginning, but it's very basic, so I guess we just jump right over that, is take a look at your application folder, which are your programs. Well, incidentally, on the previous one, what you're going to do on that, I think I just jumped through that, but on this application support, again, whatever you see there that's kind of funky, is you want to delete it. Not delete it, you want to throw everything in your trash can, and run through the program, restart, and go through some motions. That way, if something, maybe you deleted something that you shouldn't have and it's creates any issues, you could restore it. So let's take a look at our trash, because this is a bunch of stuff that's been deleted. Well, frankly, some of this may be still from before. So actually no, this is most of our stuff. This is the cache files and things like that we deleted. So we're gonna leave that there, and then at the end, if everything goes well, then we'll go ahead and remove everything out of there, empty the trash can. So let's go back again. We're talking about applications. One of the first things really that you would do, and what I like to do here is I like to put it in date modified. So I basically look at the recent stuff, because otherwise, if you just have it by the default, it's by name, it's all over the place. So I look at that, and I want to look at the recent and see if there's any recent programs that got installed. Typically, if a customer is bringing this in, it probably had a problem recently, and obviously, if you're having a problem, it would be recent. So I see everything here. I didn't delete anything out of here. Everything looks here pretty normal, except this Uvu video chat. It's kind of junky, but really, it's not malware. It lends itself to, a bunch of junk and stuff like that, but who am I to judge? So everything here was fine, but I did want to go over that as well. And that pretty much runs through all the basics. If this doesn't get rid of your problem is pretty deep-seated. Some of the other things that you may want to do, which is just basic stuff, is, you know, run a disk check and permissions check. But then, you know, that's not really malware or adware related. That's more like a just maintenance. So I'm not going to go deep into that. You can catch another video for that. So here we installed Kaspersky Internet Security. And we're just going to go through the basic motions here. We're going to do an update, and we're going to do a scan and see what it comes up with. And I'll show you that in a little bit. All right, guys, so here we are. Basically, we're going to wrap this up. I'm not going to keep you watching the scan. We ran the Kaspersky. We installed it. We did the update for the database. We ran the quick scan. If you look at it here, quick scan was clean. And now we're running the full scan. This is going to take about an hour to run this, maybe more. So we're going to just let this one run. And we don't find anything here, we're going to be wrapped up. And maybe I'll give you a quick wrap up at the end of this, or if you don't see a video at the end of this, then basically we wrapped it up. If we find something here, then we'll be continued. So that's where we're at. The browsers are looking good so far. Even when that's done, you know, we're going to still open up a couple browsers and you know, play around with it, go through the motions, do some typical usage to make sure it doesn't come back, because we have seen that. More so, of course, in Windows machines, where all this stuff, everything looks good, and then you do a restart, and there's a buddy malware somewhere that re-downloads itself and restarts it, and all those kind of crazy things. So that's what we got here for you. MacBook Air malware browser hijack removal. Keep in mind, for all you Mac lovers that are really loving your Mac because of the malware or because of the non-malware, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff heading your way. So if you really want to stay away from malware, the only way I know how to do it, or the only way I could recommend for you to do it, is Linux. Linux is still not getting targeted. I doubt it will get targeted. Plus, there's, you know, many other reasons why it's going to be the cleanest system. In my view, it's the best operating system to use as far as the internet is concerned. If your primary use is browsing the web, you're going to have a Chrome version of Linux. You're going to have a Firefox version of Linux, and that is the way to surf the web, click any link, surf any website, open any email on Linux. So if you're interested in that, take a look at our website and take a look at our virus-proof computers. That's basically how we call them. They have dual boot operating systems. They run Linux, and they also run a Windows, could be Windows 7, Windows 10. We got custom configurations that you could set up anywhere from 4 gigs to 16 gigs, anywhere from a 500 gig standard spinning drive to a 500 gig SSD. So we got some custom configurations. Check them out. And thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Hey guys, okay, so here's the final wrap up. The Kaspersky full scan finished running. It did find, we'll find one item. Here's the quarantine. Really, there's 3 items here, but 2 of them, as you can see, are the ones that are in the trash. So I even scanned the trash can and found those 2. But we did have one here that kind of slipped through our cracks here. We didn't see this. This in the Armando library. Actually, this is a hidden folder. We didn't go into this hidden folder in this video due to the fact that deleting something or making a wrong move in the user library folder could create some consequences there for you. So we didn't actually go into that in this video. But Kaspersky went in there and did find this little live shoppers, which was one of the ones that was in the trash can as well. So it put those into the trash. I'm sorry, put those into the quarantine. We're going to delete those. And that was our quick scan was clean. Here you can see the full scan. See if we can see that. You can see the full scan had the 3 objects disinfected. We clean them out. So pretty much we're good to go. Like I mentioned prior, we'll run through some different scenarios, some different web browsing before we actually call the client to give them the unit and call it a wrap. We got some updates going on over here. Maybe we'll do some updates, and we'll just let it run for a while under different web browsers and different conditions. And if all goes well, it's going to be a wrap. And as far as I'm concerned at this point, 90% chance, 99% that it's going to be a wrap. So that'll do it for this MacBook Air malware browser hijack removal video. Thanks for watching.